Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to speak about the CSS transition and CSS animation and how we can implement them in our project, and we will use plain CSS. We don't use any tailwind or bootstrap or anything else, just plain CSS, and let's go and see how we can use them in our projects. First, let's check the MDN document and see what is the transition and animation. So here you can see that we have the transition, and it is a shorthand property for transition property, transition duration, transition timing function, and transition delay. And here you can see some example of them. And if you come down here, you can see that this is the syntax of using it. We can use transition. And also, let's go down again. You can see that, for example, the initial value of delay is 0, duration is 0, property is all, and timer function is ease, and that's it. So you can check this documentation here and see some examples of them. And also, let's check the animation, and you can see that also the animation is a shorthand CSS property for animation name, duration, timing function, and a lot of other properties. And you can see some examples here like this, and you can see that this is the different timing, and this is using the animation duration here. For example, for this you can change it to 1 second and check the result online, or 100 milliseconds. You can see that the speed is changing. Also, the usage of this is here, and you can check everything you want. For example, the initial value of them, you can see that, for example, for duration it is 0, the name is none, timing function is ease, and you can check all of them here. And also, let's say that you want to see what is the animation timing function. So here you can see that we have ease is in, step, and cubic bezier, and a lot of them. So this is it. This is a quick information about the animation and transition. Let's create a new project and work on it. So I created a new folder named CSS Animation Sandbox, and inside of that I created animation folder and transition folder. So in transition example, we have a simple structure of HTML file, and in the body I have this division with class of container, and also I have this button with class of btn with this text, and I have a style files. In this I have this CSS reset here, and I have a container here with a width, height, background, display of flex, and I created this button. Let me open this on my browser to see it. So in this button I have some simple classes like font size, padding, color, background, border, cursor, and I created the button hover with transform and color. So you can see that I have it. So on hover, my scale would be increased and my color would be changed. So let's work on it. The first thing is here we need to have some different transition properties. So you can see that I have transition property, duration, delay, timing function. Let me add all of them here quickly. And I have all of them. So for the transition property, let's say I want to have the transform, and let's minimize this explorer. So for the duration, I want it to be 100 milliseconds. And for its timing function, you saw that it is ease, but I want to use, let's say, a linear. And for the delay of it, I want to use 0 seconds. I don't want to have any delay. Let's check it. So you can see that I'm working on this transform, and you can see that the transform has some function. So let me show you with 1 millisecond, it would be better. You can see that the transition of the transform would take 1 second, but the transition of color is immediately. So you can see that. And also, instead of this, we can use a shorthand. So let's add another shorthand for it. So for transition, we can use again transform with 1 second, and a linear, and a 0 second. And let's comment them. That's it. You can see that now I have the same result. That's good. And also I have a color, so we can again add all of this for the color. Now you can see that both are changing with each other, but because they are same, also let me copy paste this and comment it. So also there is another simpler way. So you can use an all, it would be affected by all of the uh, changes. So you can see that now I have all of them. Let's change this to 200 milliseconds. It is better. Now you can see that it is working, and that's it. So this was for the transition example. Let's go to the next example, which is animation. For the next example, I have this another folder of animation. Inside of that, I have index.html, and inside of the body, I have a division again with class name of container. And inside of that, I have this. So let me open this in the browser. So I have a division with class name of container. Inside of that, I have a division with class of spinner, a division with class of sliding left, a division with class of sliding right, a div box. Inside of that, I have a dot, then a pop-up and a blink class. So let's comment them and work on them one by one. This is it. So first I want to work on this spinner. And inside of this CSS class, I have a CSS reset. Again, for the container, I just use a flex and the background. So I have flex with direction of column, and I have a gap of 8 pixels between them. Also, I have the overflow of hidden. Then I have this spinner with a width and height of 200 pixels and a border, and also a border top with different colors so you can see it. Also I have a border radius. If I comment this border radius, you can see that this is a simple division, but I make it a circle, so that's it. So for this spinner, I want to have a new animation. In order to have any animation, we need to have a keyframe with a name. For example, I use key of a spinner for it, and you saw on the documentation. Let me show you again that here you need to use a new keyframe, and inside of this keyframe you can perform your animation and use it inside of your class. So let's go here and continue. Inside of a spinner we can have a from and a to, and this is the start at the end of our animation. So I simply use a rotate of zeros, and I will go to the rotate of 360-degree. So let's format my document, and this is it. So this is a simple keyframe for my spinner from rotate of 0 to rotate of 360-degree, and after that we can use that for my spinner. So I can have some animation, and for animation you saw that we have different names for them. So let's implement all of them. So I have an animation name and I want to use this spinner for it. After that, I can use duration. For example, I can say that your duration can be 1 second. And for the timing function, I can use a linear for it. And for the delay, I don't want to have any delay, so I use 0 seconds. And then I have iteration count. Let's say that I want you to have just one iteration. And for the direction, we can use normal, which is its default. So let's minimize this and format document. So I use this. You can see that it, after refreshing, you can see it is working one. So the duration is 1 second. The timing function is linear, but for the animation delay is 0. But here for iteration, I use 1. If you use 5 here, you can see that it will work 5 times, but I want it to be infinite. So let's use this infinite, and that's it. And for the next thing, which is animation direction, you have normal. Also you have the reverse. You can see that the direction would be reversed, and also you have alternative, and you can see that it alternates. That's it. But I simply want to use the normal, and that's it. So I think for this example it's good. So let's minimize this and continue to the next example. For the next example, let's comment a spinner and uncomment this sliding again. Here I want to have a new class. Let's copy the name of it to use it here, and we need the keyframe for it. So again I want to have a from and from to, and here I want to work on its transform. So I would translate x from minus 100 viewport width to 0. That's it. So in this sliding left, from transform of minus 100 viewport of width, I will go to translate x of 0. That's it. And let's use again, let's copy all of these classes from here, and inside of this sliding left, use them again. So you can see that it is rotating because it is using animation name of a spinner, but I want to use this name. So let's add it here. Now you can see that it is coming from the left side and it is infinite. So let's change this infinite to 1, and you can see that it works 1 times. Also, we can have a shorthand for it. So we can simply comment this, and we can use the animation. So let's copy the name of it here. And after that, I have the duration of 1 second and a linear timing function with 0-second delay and iteration of 1 and a normal direction. Also, you can avoid these default values, but I'm writing all of them here. So now you can see that again we have the same result with a shorthand. That's it. And this is good for this example, but let's check another thing, which is the fill mode. So let's go to the animate, and here let's go to the fill mode. So here you can see that I have a fill mode of none, forward and backward. Fill mode property sets how a CSS animation applies style to its target before and after its execution. So if you have anything before or after, you can have some different weird action from your animation. So let's assume that we have a transform after this, just to show you. So let's say that we have translate of y of 50 pixels. So after this, it will go down, but this is not good. Here, we can simply use the animation fill mode. And here we have backward, both, forward, none. So if I use forward, you can see that it will go and it will stay at the last of it. And also if you use a backward, you can see that it will go, and after finishing it will go to the next step. But we can use both and we ignore it. So both will handle that problem for us, and this is the animation fill mode. So I think for this example it's good, and let's minimize this sliding left and go to the next one. The next one is, let's minimize this and let's uncomment right and comment, or you know what, let's have both of them. So the next one is sliding right. So we can simply copy paste the previous. So let's copy all of the keyframe of a sliding left, change the name of it to the right, and here just change this to plus. So instead of minus 100 viewport wide, we simply use this. So minus would come from the left and this would come from the right. And let's copy this class again. And here, well, I can simply, for this sliding right, I can use a sliding right with 1 second, linear, 0 second, 1, and normal. Also, let me show you that instead of this, you can use ease in, ease out to see the difference of it. So you can see that now the top is linear and the bottom is ease in, out. And you can see that the button is more beautiful, and that's it. So I think for the right side it is good, and let's minimize this and go to the next example. So here let's uncomment this box and go back here. So let me show you again. Inside this box I have a dot and I work on it. So for the box, this is it. So for the box I want to have width of 200 pixel, height of 200 pixel, and border of 2 pixel with solid of red. And also for the dot, I want to have a width of 20 pixel, height of 20 pixel, background of red. And now you can see the box and the dot. So this is my box and this is my dot. So Let's create a new keyframe for them. So add sign keyframe with name of circle, and I want to use this circle for my dot. So on the dot, I simply can use this animation of circle with 2 seconds and infinite. That's it. So for the circle, let me show you here. We had the from and to. Also for more control, we can use percentages. So let me write some of them here quickly. And let's format document. So inside of this circle, I want to use the percentage, and in each percent, you can control anything you want. So I will add some transform to them. And now you can see that this is working, and it is working as I want. So using translate X and translate Y, I'm rotating this circle inside of this box. That's it, and you can see that it is working completely. Also, let me show you another feature of animation, which is animation play state. So let's say that I want to stop this on hover. So how we can do this? This is too easy. Let's go here and let's select the box on the hover, and on the hover for the dot, we can simply use the animation play state of pause. That's it. So when I hover on the box for the dot class, I'm pausing the play state of its animation. So you can see that on hover of the box, on anywhere of it, that animation would be paused. So this was another one I wanted to talk about it. And let's minimize all of these and go to the next example. So the next example is this pop-up, and let's comment this for now and work on the pop-up. So the next animation is that pop-up, and for this you know that we want to add another animation. So let's add the animation of it, pop-up and 1 second, and also infinite. And let's create a keyframe for it with name of pop-up, and again I want to use the percentages. So you can see that for this pop-up, I'm using the scale, and I'm changing the scale based on what I want, and it is working. Also, let me show you that you can use different colors. For example, you can use color of green here, and here you can use a color of red, and it would be rotated between these colors based on your percentage here. Also, in middle of them, let's have a color of, let's say, blue. And let's have this color. So you can see that also the color is changing, and this is working. So you have full control on your animation in your keyframe, and you can change anything you want. Also, you can use 0%, 1%, 2%, and anything you want. That's it, and it is the beauty of the CSS animation. So let's minimize this and go to the next, which is the last example, and it is a blink. So let's copy this, and here let's use an animation for it. Animation, I want it to blink in 1 second with an infinite timing. So let's use a new keyframe here and use blink for it. So and that's it. Now you can see that I have the opacity of 0 to opacity of 1. And if I refresh, it needs to be 2. You can see that it is working. And let's go back here and uncomment everything. Okay, that's it. Now you can see that everything is working, and we implemented a lot of animations in this tutorial. And that was for this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there is any opinion or any comment. And all of the code is uploaded on my GitHub page, and the link of it is on the description of this video, and you can download them. Have a good time and goodbye.